please stand. Please remain standing for the national anthem.
Please be seated. Please join me in a moment of silence for the individuals that were affected by the terrible tragedy in Santa Fe, Texas. Thank you. Welcome to the Hudson High School graduation for the class of 2018. I would like to extend a warm welcome to parents, family, and friends, boards of education, administration, teachers, and support staff for the Hudson School District, and finally, to the graduates themselves. In just another week or so, we will observe a very special holiday, Memorial Day. Memorial Day was first widely observed in May of 1868. The celebration commemorated the sacrifices of the Civil War, and the proclamation was made by General John A. Logan. Following the proclamation, participants decorated the graves of more than 20,000 Union and Confederate soldiers. That is where the laying of the flowers on the graves of loved ones on Memorial Day has come from. In honor of all of those who have served, those that have sacrificed in service, and those who are currently served in the armed forces, I ask that all veterans in attendance tonight please stand to be recognized for your service. Thank you for your service. Another group I would like to recognize here with us this evening is the many alumni that have graduated from Hudson High School. Those that are in attendance this evening, please stand to be recognized. Thank you for being such great ambassadors for our district and most importantly for our community. Congratulations. Just think, it was only 13 short years ago that you walked into your kindergarten classroom, and now here you are today, one of the largest graduating classes ever, with over 400 students, the class of 2018. As I stand here before the graduates, I would like to talk about what it means to be a leader and the importance of leading throughout your life. You see, as you move on to your next stage of life, you will have many opportunities that will determine your long-term successes. You will be faced with many challenges. Those challenges will sometimes seem unmanageable or too daunting to work through. When those times come, it is important for you to lead. With being a leader comes great responsibility and also great reward. Remember that being a leader means thinking of others or an organization ahead of oneself. It means sometimes having to make decisions or implement things that are unpopular and at times heavily criticized. What will get you through those tough times is knowing that what you are doing is in service of others and for the betterment of more than just yourself. For those are the true rewards. As a leader, you will come up against opposition, and no matter how hard you try, and no matter how much you try to find common ground, there will always be critics. Don't let them bring you down. And if they succeed in temporarily bringing you down, it is the measure of your character and the character of every leader as to how you respond, how you pick yourself back up, and how you continue to lead. You see, President Theodore Roosevelt has said it best when he talks about being a leader. He said, "It's not the critic who counts. It's not the person who points out how the strong man stumbles, or where the doer of deeds could have done them better. The credit belongs to the person who is actually in the arena, whose face is marred by dust and sweat and blood, who strives valiantly, who errs, who comes up short again and again. Because there is no effort without error and shortcoming. But who does actually strive to do the deeds, who knows the great enthusiasms, the great devotions, who spends himself in a worthy cause, who at best, in the end, knows the triumph of high achievement, and who at the worst, if he fails, at least fails while daring greatly, so that their place shall never be with those cold and timid souls who neither know victory nor defeat." It is easy to stand along the sidelines of life and criticize what is going on around you. I challenge each and every one of you not to be one of those bystanding critics, and to instead use your talents and your energy as a positive change agent in the world. Be a leader. Once again, welcome to all that have joined us here today to celebrate this momentous accomplishment of the class of 2018. Please enjoy the rest of the ceremony.
Although it may be a rainy, cloudy, cold night, this room is full of light light from the promise and the potential for our future. Congratulations to the class of 2018 for the completion of your K-12 education. I am Peg Shoemaker, principal of the high school, and welcome to our commencement ceremonies. This evening, we honor our graduates as they embark on their way to adulthood. They take with them their memories and their stories of their schooling, their activities, their favorite teachers, and their friendships, which culminate into this glorious evening of celebration. With us this evening are three special representatives of the Hudson High School alumni and their family members. These people have been nominated for their qualities of extraordinary perseverance, excellence, and service. Thank you to the Education Foundation of Hudson for honoring the contributions of these alumni through this award. Class of 2018, consider the following women and men as inspiration. They have dedicated their lives to serving others and to contributing to the greater good of our world. Listen to their stories as an inspiration to your own pathway for the future. Dr. Gregory David Fuchs is currently an associate professor of applied engineering and physics at Cornell University in Ithaca, New York. He represents the class of 1991. Prior to him being a professor at Cornell University, Gregory spent the first 5 years of his career as a high school chemistry physics teacher, Miss Mick. A summer research opportunity at the University of Minnesota lured him away from teaching and eventually led to a graduate fellowship at Cornell University. Dr. Fuchs earned his PhD from Cornell University in 2007. Afterward, he moved to the University of California, Santa Barbara as a postdoctoral associate. In 2011, he joined the Cornell Faculty of Applied Engineering and Physics. His research centers on understanding and controlling spin dynamics in solid-state systems, drawing from condensed matter physics, atomic physics, and materials engineering. His group strives to develop new optical, electrical, and microwave frequency probes of spin dynamics at the nanoscale. Nancy Cassett. Nancy is a media executive with extensive experience in transforming newsrooms across the country into the digital age. Currently, Ms. Cassett is the executive director of Minnesota Public Radio. After high school, Nancy graduated from St. Cloud State University with a Bachelor of Arts degree in Mass and Speech Communications. Cassett's extensive journalism career includes work in reporting, editing, and managing television, radio, and the internet. She is known for leading change as technology in the news economy altered every aspect of journalism. Cassett is considered a mentor to young women news leaders, as she was one of the very first women leaders early in her career in the news business. Many of those women are now leading newsrooms themselves. Nancy serves on the 360 Journalism Board at the University of St. Thomas, whose purpose is to support the next generation of journalists with a focus on diversity in newsrooms. She also served for years on the board in the Twin Cities. Additionally, Nancy has been a longtime volunteer at Hudson, Wisconsin's Pine Ridge Memory Care Unit. Richard, Rick, Carl, Fina, class of 1965, is honored tonight posthumously. Rick Fina is a standard bearer for the many who have graduated from Hudson High School and served in the military during the Vietnam era. Rick was Hudson High School's lone Vietnam fatality. He was killed in action on May 24, 1968, and was 21 years old at the time of his death. He served as a Field Medical Corpsman E3, U.S. Navy, attached to the 1st Platoon of Company K, 3rd Battalion, 27th Marines, participating in Operation Allen Brook in southern Quang Nam province when his unit came under intensive enemy fire and several of the men were wounded. Rick immediately began to render aid, was struck by enemy small arms, and was killed instantly. Personal testimony from those he served reflected his immense selflessness and courage. 34 years after his death, Richard was honored posthumously, receiving a Bronze Star Medal with Combat V for Valor designation for his heroics during the Vietnam War. Please join me in honoring these special Hudson High School alumni, Mr. Gregory Fuchs, Mr. Nancy Cassett, and Rick Fina's brother, Robin Fina. This year, our Hudson High School faculty went over the top in their dedication and love for their seniors. A couple of weeks ago, we held our first teacher versus student football game to raise money for a faculty-chosen senior scholarship. Teachers played in the faculty pep band, sold tickets, sold concessions, announced, formed a faculty cheer team. We had a faculty bleacher creatures, referees, mascot, fans, and of course, football players. We nearly creamed the seniors, but they squeaked by at the end. It's really not true, but anyway. We raised over $3,000 for this deserving individual. Tonight, I'm pleased to honor a senior, voted on by our high school faculty. This senior was described by Mr. Swavely as a person who exudes positivity, resilience, and compassion that shines through every day. Mr. Hatfield said, "They are deeply rooted in goodness, kindness, and love for others." This student has an appreciation for all things that makes everyone around her feel blessed and noble. On top of this, she loves the Hudson Raiders. Mr. Petermeyer stated, "I can't think of a better person who embodies the spirit of this scholarship. She has lived a lifetime of adversity before ever graduating from high school. She and her family are an example to all of us for what true perseverance looks like. Through her trials and tribulations, she has held her head high. She's never once asked for things to get easier, but only that she be allowed to live life to the fullest. Through these last 3 years, her goal has been to participate fully in her high school experience. She's been a testament to strength, dedication, and grace." And finally, words from Ms. Jameson. "Lexi is one of the most resilient students I've ever had the honor to work with. During her sophomore year, she started having severe headaches, which caused dizziness, fatigue, and complications with her vision. She eventually was diagnosed with a very rare brain tumor, which affects only 3 out of 1 million people. Since that time, she's had 2 brain surgeries. She continues to have residual complications from the tumor, the surgeries. However, I've never once heard her complain. She continues to push herself to the extreme, and she always has a smile on her face. She truly inspires me every day. Truth be told, I'm the one who owes thanks to Lexi. She reminds me to embrace the challenges life throws at you, to find positives in every situation, and to never give up. Please come forward, Alexa Tennant, to accept this scholarship."
As Reverend Martin Luther King Jr. once said, free at last, free at last. Thank God Almighty, we are free at last. Now, while his use is certainly at least a little more monumental than ours, we shouldn't overlook ours. I don't want to take up a lot of your time. I've been at this ceremony once before for my older brother, so I can tell you from a firsthand experience, it's very similar to a dog that has no legs on a leash. It drags on. That being said, I've been told that it isn't good practice to give a 30-second speech, and that I actually have to impart some kind of message and wisdom. So listen up. We all have different goals out of life. We all have different goals for our future, but one common thing that we all want to be is successful. We all say that we want to be successful, but we never really think about what that really entails. It'd be really cheesy and stereotypical of me to tell you how Webster's Dictionary defines success, so I'm not going to do that. But dictionary.com defines success as the attainment of wealth, position, honors, or the like. I would simply define it as the accomplishment of a goal. In order to accomplish this goal, whatever it may be, I found 5 things that together create success. I quite humbly call this the Ben Smith 5-step method to success. And I'll be giving that away for free right now. You're welcome. The 5 steps are: you have to identify what you want to be successful at. You have to find people who are going to support you in this goal. You're going to have to make a few enemies along the way. You're going to have to work relentlessly, and you're going to have to reflect. You have to start by choosing specifically what you want, but don't be too vague. Too often we make statements like, I want to be wealthy, and make that the center of our life. Statements like this are doomed to fail. There's no end in sight and no way to determine if you're actually successful. This is why many people keep chasing a goal for their entire life and are never happy. So stop saying a vague end goal and start saying what you really want. Do you want to be wealthy, or do you want to drive up to your private jet in a Ferrari? Identifying exactly where you want to be will help you find out how to get there. And once you have identified what you want, you're going to need to find people who will support you in your goals. These are the people who will send you information on internships, who support you in your efforts, and help you approach all the various problems in your life. You may know these people as friends. Friends are people who see your talents and skills and help you to reach your goal. A lot of people don't know this, but freshman year, I had no intention of being the person to stand on this stage. When I was passing around my form to run for class office and get signatures for my class, my friend Dan actually erased where I had originally circled vice president and circled president, and we can see how that worked out. Friends like Dan really help you to realize what you're capable of, and they push you to go further than you ever think possible. I think Dwight Schrute put it best when he said, "It is together that we prevail." One of the most overlooked strategies, and I think it's one of the most underrated, is kind of counterintuitive. You're going to have to make some enemies in life. And when I say make enemies, I don't mean go around acting like a jerk to anyone. What I mean is stand up for what you believe in. This might be ideas that you have, but more importantly, it's your core beliefs and your core values. So it's what makes you, you. You're going to have a lot of different beliefs over the course of your life, and a lot of your friends are going to support them. But there's a leadership principle that says about 10% of the people that you know, regardless of what you say or do, will not support that belief or idea. It's important to stay true to yourself and stand up for what you care about, and that makes enemies. Look at the Founding Fathers. They built the single greatest nation the world would ever see. They pioneered ideas such as liberty, republicanism, and capitalism. Everyone across the entire world thought that they were going to fail, and we made enemies out of monarchies left and right. And yeah, you could say I'm still a little mad at Great Britain for the intolerable acts. They feared our radical ideas would spread. Now, as many of you know, I could go on and on about how great America is, but that would really be missing the point of what this speech is about. Just as European nations feared and hated the radical ideas of American freedom, you will have ideas that other people fear and hate, but if you believe in them, stand up for them. Once you have your goal in sight, and you have the people to support you, you have the ideas you're going to defend, and you've made a couple enemies, you're going to have to work relentlessly to achieve your goals. Another way of saying this is a personal philosophy of mine: full send or don't send at all. President Calvin Coolidge once said, Nothing in this world can take the place of persistence. Talent will not. Nothing is more common than unsuccessful men with talent. Genius will not. Unrewarded genius is almost a proverb. Education will not. The world is full of educated derelicts. Persistence and determination alone are omnipotent. Simply put, no matter what situation you find yourself in today, whatever obstacle might appear to be unstoppable, you can eclipse them if you want it hard enough. If you want success, take it. Finally, you need to constantly reflect and reevaluate on your life. This whole process is a learning experience. No one has all the answers for you. You're going to find things that work for you and things that don't work for you, and they're going to come from all sorts of aspects of your life. You're going to find that you might have skills in a different club or organization that apply to your work. You might pick up traits from sports that apply to your family life. The point is, if you don't stop to reflect on what you've learned, you'll never use what you already have. As I wrap up here, I want to leave you all with a few final thoughts. All of you have the opportunity and ability to be successful. You just have to be the last one to give up. There was once a man named William Borden. He went to Yale in 1905 and was a multimillionaire even before entering college. That's pretty successful, but that's not where he actually achieved success. What he wanted to do with his life was he wanted to go preach the gospel. So he decided to travel to China in order to do this. But before that, he went to Egypt so he could learn the languages that he would need. Unfortunately, he never made it there, as he died in Egypt. He is said to have carved 3 things into his Bible: no reserve, no retreat, and no regret. Leave everything that you have on the table, and you'll have no reserves. Boldly take risks, and you'll have no regret. And always full send, and there will be no retreat. Thank you, and God bless America. I've also been given probably the highest honor I've ever achieved in my entire life. I get to introduce our next speaker. I looked at a lot of different introductions to figure out how best to do this, and in looking at them, I found that it just lists all the different accomplishments that the speaker has earned in order to convey why they're qualified to speak. However, I can't do this with this next man, because if I did that, we'd be here until the sun came back up. Simply put, it gives me great pleasure to welcome a cross-country captain, the original Rotary Student of the Month, the man voted as beauty and brains of the class of 2018, your valedictorian, the single smartest person in the school, and my personal friend, Mr. Connor Hess.
Thank you for that wonderful introduction, Ben. Can we get another round of applause for our class president, Ben Smith? Dust, cramped hallways, senseless detours, intrusive noise. Our senior year could be summed up into these rather negative words, if we let it. These words represent the change we've had to endure, the type of change that's messy, uncomfortable, and inconvenient. Our senior year is actually much more than this. We are beginning to see the potential that stems from this struggle. We had a bit of a rocky start as we had to learn to adjust to changes we simply weren't expecting. But here we are today. Frankly, we survived, and we did much more than that. We thrived. We will not see the immediate results of this massive construction project. We had to deal with the mess, only to be told to not complain and to trust that it's for the best. While we may have been frustrated that we did not get to reap all of the benefits of this construction, if you think about it, we did get to enjoy quite a few. New practice fields, new tennis courts, a new stadium and track, a new auditorium, new classrooms, and even some luxurious trailers. Additionally, it is important to remember that this construction will greatly benefit future students of HHS, some of whom may be your brothers or sisters, or maybe someday your kids. Even though there were distractions and a little bit of chaos, we continued to represent the strength, perseverance, and commitment of Raiders of HHS. We achieved many things in various organizations throughout our final year of high school. The boys hockey team won state again. The girls had a great season as well, winning conference. The football team did The football team did amazing as well, losing only one conference game. The Raiders impressed at state, getting second in 2 events. The girls' basketball team had a fantastic season. And the guys did better than last year. Oh, and not that anyone cares, but the guys' cross-country team got 9th at state, and the girls got 6th. However, athletics were not the only way we represented HHS over the past year. The Quiz Bowl team made it to nationals yet again. The Rhinestone Raiders performed at a Minnesota Timberwolves game. Forensics sent all of their competitors to state. And DECA sent many competitors to state and a few all the way to internationals. This year, despite its difficulties, has indicated that we have what it takes to face the challenges of leaving high school and beginning our lives. Even with some rather frustrating changes, we were able to overcome them. Stephen Hawking said, "Intelligence is the ability to adapt to change." Based off this definition, I believe we are all capable of enjoying productive and satisfying lives. Whether you are attending college, going into a career, or enlisting in the armed forces, you will need to not only overcome change, but also progress while enduring it. And you have proven your ability to do so. Now, I'm not going to lie to you and say all change is good. Just look at the Snapchat update. But change needs to be embraced. If you can embrace change, it will ultimately benefit you. But keep in mind, these benefits are not always able to be seen at first. Just like the construction we've endured, despite the fact that we will not be attending the completed school. You might not believe me, but having to deal with the construction will benefit us all in the long run. By going through this, we have become much more flexible and adaptable to change. This will allow us to handle all of the twists and turns of life. John Maxwell, a professional motivational speaker, said it best: "Change is inevitable, growth is optional." Whatever you choose to do from this day on, you should work towards personifying this idea. As you all know, our lives will change significantly in the upcoming years. Don't be frightened by this, but rather view it as an opportunity to grow as a person. If you go into college, you'll be able to learn more than you have ever thought possible. If you go into the workforce, you will be able to learn all the real-life skills to live a successful life. And lastly, if you go into the armed forces, you will be able to learn great values that will make you a better person. Before I end this, I would like to thank all of the people who have helped us achieve this great milestone. So on behalf of the class of 2018, thank you all teachers and administrators, coaches and leaders, and most of all, parents and guardians. You are the reason we have made it to this point. Also, I would like to personally thank my parents and my brother Riley, my teammates, and all of my teachers, especially Miss Mick, Mr. Weiland, Mr. Kaufman, and Miss Menarchek. You have always supported me and encouraged me to better myself. Finally, congratulations, class of 2018. We did it.
I remember distinctly, first hour 4 years ago. You all anxiously streamed in, and I anxiously stood in the hallway. You would be starting your first day of high school, while I would either decide to continue to pursue education or to pursue a degree in law. There's something unique and quite endearing about the class of 2018, because here I stand today, finding it impossible to even imagine doing anything different with my life, and you are largely to thank for that. So, here we are together. Congratulations. We made it, and I feel truly blessed that our lives intersected as they did. You may remember your first assignment for 9th grade English. You shared with us your dreams, your successes, and even your failures. I was humbled by your stories, and I remain humbled today. Most of your goals centered around helping people, going to a fancy college, and of course, making a ton of money. Some of you said you hope to maintain your perfect GPA from middle school, while some of you aimed slightly lower and said you'd like to continue to not fail. Your personalities permeated those pages, and by 7:45 in the morning, you had won my heart. Whether you wanted to maintain perfection or simply stay above water, your goals centered around not failing. Failure is, after all, quite terrifying, but less so when we remember that the absence of failure does not indicate success. Rather, the absence of failure is indicative of untapped potential. Sarah Blakely, the youngest female self-made billionaire in America's history, had a family who not only supported, but encouraged failure. At the end of every week, Sarah's father would ask her a question she asserts is foundational to her success. What have you failed at this week? His motivation was not to step in and save her from her failure. It was quite the opposite. He asked this question to acknowledge and to celebrate failure's implications. In this family, doing something difficult enough to fail at is admirable. The only failure they considered true failure was when there was no effort. By this definition, she could achieve perfection at a task and still fail if she didn't have to try. This family had a healthy perspective on failure. They see it only as an opportunity to learn and to do things differently the next time. The problem with this idealistic view on failure, however, is that it neglects the emotional and oftentimes physical discomfort carries with it, and how truly difficult it is to emerge successful. A few months ago, my 6-year-old asked me, "Mom, do you know what metaphors are?" I'm an English teacher, so I was pretty excited. I said, "Metaphors are my jam. What do you know about them?" "It's how you explain things," she said, and then followed with a detailed description of how a lighthouse is an important metaphor in her life. It was a fairly magical mom moment, having an intellectual conversation with a first grader. And she's right. Metaphors are a great way to explain things. So as I stand here and contemplate the gravity of fear attached to failure and the obsessive drive to achieve and maintain perfection, I think of a bucket of crayons in a first grade classroom, because that's what everyone thinks of, right? This box sits on the table while eager children rush in, scrambling to find the perfect colors for their art. They push crayons to the side, digging and digging to find perfect colors. They choose vibrant blues and greens and reds, the favored ones. These crayons' paper casings are tediously picked at and ripped, unsheathing that untapped potential. These crayons are imperfect in almost every way. Their tips rounded into domes from overuse, and their length barely fitting in to even the smallest of artists' hands. These are the colors making the world more beautiful. Meanwhile, left in the bucket lie perfect crayons, never touched, never taken. Why? They make limited impact on the paper they touch. Once in a while, a naive child will pick up these crayons because their perfectly pointed tips deceptively promise bold lines and extraordinary fill on the paper. They grab this crayon with great expectation, only to realize that no matter how hard they press, the color makes little impact on their art. So they abandon the crayon, tossing it back into the bucket with all the other rejected colors, perfectly shaped, yet ineffective. Perfectionism feels uncomfortably like that gray crayon tossed to the side time and time again, sacrificing beautiful flaws to maintain a boringly unblemished facade. Unwilling to take chances, our marks become gray. We want to color the world, but our fears of becoming misshapen from the wrong stop us from making any mark at all. Intuition tells us that any mark that goes on the canvas of our lives must be perfect. 4.0 GPA, a shutout, a no-hitter, flawless tone and pitch, peacekeeper, the perfect friend. You name it. If we think we can make it perfect, we believe will matter as a result of it. These actually can have the opposite effect. Perfection is boring and impossible to maintain. And if we're not careful, we'll end up with a canvas barely touched. But at least we'll have our crayon, which remains intact. It remains perfect. We've taken no risks, and we've shut out collaboration as we believe our own perfections are the only ones worthy to fill our page. What if, however, we fill the page with effort upon effort, mistake upon mistake? We leave our mark, no matter how messy it seems, and we allow others to contribute to our canvas, their colors complementing ours, and we learn to make mistakes part of the art. What if we begin to embrace the potential of the abstract that comes with mistakes and see just how truly malleable we are? Just as the crayon loses its perfection from use, we too let go of that need to remain perfect, and instead use our lives to infuse the canvas with richness and excitement. This message is not one of epiphany and miraculous change. It is one of steadfast practice and grit, and it is one I continually strive for each day. So as you enter adulthood, consider Sarah Blakely and the crayon. Have you acknowledged your potential and opportunity for failure? Embrace the mindset of failing forward rather than backward. Challenge yourselves. Give yourself permission to do something difficult and see where it takes you. Let yourself enjoy life, and remember to color the world unapologetically with your imperfections. Thank you.
I'd like to recognize our Hudson High School commencement band who played for us in the beginning, and I would also like to recognize our Hudson High School chamber choir and senior singers under the direction of Miss Carrie Heisler.
from nowhere I grew both strong and tall, longing to be calm, but knowing not the path at all.
But the footprints of the winter melted to fields of spring. One last embrace before I cross the threshold. To life we sing. Oh, stay your soul and leave my heart its song. Oh, stay your hand, the journey may be long. And when we part and sorrow can't be swayed, remember when and let your heart be stayed. Oh, mia soul temperat, absens in re morta, amame fidelite, idem meam noto. Dance and sing and grieve no more. Through war I find refuge from the shore.
Let courage be your oar, let passion be your sail. Wisdom and truth will guide your departs journey. Through all travail, oh, stay your soul and leave my heart its song. Oh, stay your hand, the journey may be long. And when we part and sorrow can't be swayed,
School Board President, Mr. Jamie Johnson, it is my pleasure to inform you that these students, the class of 2018, have met all of their necessary graduation requirements designated by the state of Wisconsin and the Hudson School District and have earned the recognition of Hudson High School graduate.
Thank you, President Mocker. And our goal at Hudson School District is to prepare each student for post-secondary success through a culture of excellence. And to that mission statement, it means to me that we have to set the bar high. But I emphasize post-secondary success, and we're not going to know whether we met that goal for maybe another 80 years or so. You've got 80 years, give or take, to make us look good on that goal, all right? The other things that make up Hudson HSD 2025 are some belief statements, and that is that education is a partnership between students, staff, families, and the community. And I want to commend Dr. Ouellette, Principal Shoemaker, our administration, and recognize also the faculty that taught these fine students. And why don't you stand, please? Give them our thanks. And of course, we have a lot of family here, and they've followed you for roughly the last 18 years and shared in your successes and sometimes your shortcomings. But you have to recognize that collaboration and teamwork are keys to success for the rest of your life. And always be there to be grateful, be mindful, ever mindful of being grateful. And also, one of our belief statements is that personal integrity and ethical behavior is an expectation of students and staff at Hudson School District. And I would add that we make that an expectation, personal integrity and ethical behavior, of our alumni as well, because in roughly a couple hours, each one of you are going to be alumni. And so it is with great pride and a sense of humility and hopefulness that on behalf of the board members here and the Hudson School Board, I accept the class of 2018.
We are now prepared to get and obtain your diploma. So we'll
Brietta Marie Albertson. Emmeline Bell Anderson. Brooke Carly Anderson. Elise Marie Anderson. Erin Arlene Anderson. Jacob R. Anderson. Madeline Marie Anderson. Mitchell John Anderson. Brooke Louise Bonner. Shannon Mary Byer. Landon Scott Belargen. Maxwell Roosevelt Ball. Isabel Rose Barczynski. Jessica Lee Behrens. Logan Robert Bauman. Jillian Azure Beard. Lily Catherine Beck. Nicholas John Becker. Alex James Bednar. Quest Dupree Bell. Carter Riley Belfi. Julia Elizabeth Bennett.
Becca Rose Benoit. Bailey Teresa Burgum. Ryan Paul Burns. Megan Rose Bierbrower. Shauna Marie Blair. Cody Scott Blaukamp. Jack Garrett Bodick. Andrew James Bowles. Claire Marie Vonage. Gerald Slade Bourgette. Ella Marlene Bowman. Micah James Brazil. Shaylin K. Breacher. August James Brose. Riley J. Brown. Jasmine R. Bryant. Jade Christine Buchanan. Sarah Rose Burr. Caleb Brooke Burbach. Mayanda Mayon Busby. Sarah Ann Cable. Logan M. Cadwallader. Grace Antonia Collender.
Evangelia Anna Capezza. Caitlin Deborah Cardell. Jaden Joseph Carranza. Taylor Maylin Casey. Alexander Allen Castro. Avery Elise Caswell. Clay Allen Chavez. Ashley Mary Chelstrom. Taylor Ann Sika. Emma Elizabeth Close. Connor William Cole. Jacob Alexander Corbisser. Claire Marie Courtney. Cooper Crowley. Jaden Fuller Krim. Cole Raphael Kristen. Erin Nicole Crump. Wade Thomas Cudd. Sarah Ann Saprina. Aaron R. Dana. Sophie Maria Daniels. Adam James Dara. Mackenzie Marie Davis. Olivia Ann Dawson. Emily Grace Denning.
Samantha Rose Deo. Brandon Chase DiBerdino. Jade Elizabeth Dietzman. Ashlyn Tess Dirks. Jacob A. Dixon. Sean Phelan Doramy. Gracie Doherty. Cheyenne Rose Drexel. Cole Matthew Dulon. Natalie Rose Duncan. Sophia Noel Duran. Piper Elizabeth Dutton. Sarah Evelyn Eads. JC Dale Ekholm. Robert Marshall Elsenpeter. Colton Michael English. Victoria Lynn Erickson. Samantha Marie Evans. Lucas Lawrence Everson. Vincent Michael Fanning. Alexandra Claire Favilla. Kristen Jean Fisher. Brooke Lee Flanders Johnson. Jack Ryan Flatham. Madeline Faye Forcier.
Audrey Marcia Fredrickson. Olivia Diane Fremling. Logan Andrew Funk. Taylor Nicole Gabori. Emma Marie Gannon. Sandra Catherine Glodowski. Christopher Garcia. Michael Leah G. Laura Joe Gertz. Chloe Lee Germain. Natalie Michelle Germain. Brandon Matthew Gilbert. Caitlin Marie Gilson. Sydney Augusta Glampy. Cole Wagner Goodbow. Dakota Thomas Goldbeck. Benjamin Reed Golden. Nicholas John Galubik. Grady Patrick Gornick. Lauren Olivia Grambo. Molly Jo Green. Sarah Rose Griesick. Tia Trina Gunderson. Kylie Elizabeth Gustafson. Jessica Ann Hawes. Christian Tyler Harefield.
Julia L. Hall. Colleen Elizabeth Halverson. Jordan James Halverson. Riley Nicole Hammer. Isabel Ann Hansen. Nicholas Chamberlain Hansen. Sky Kristen Hansen. Kenneth Patrick Hardman. Jalise Michelle Harper. Emerson Margaret Zuleika Hatch. Isaac Timothy Hatch. Chloe Ann Hoxford. Noah Robert Heading. Connor Robert Hess. Wesley Colin Hines. Quinn Gregory Holden. Luke J. Holmberg. Taylor Yvonne Hoople. Ashley Lynn Hopp. Tyler Shea Huber. Riley Caitlin Huck. Angela Christina Hupful. Elizabeth Megan Hughes. Garrett Parker Hoon. Alexandra Helen Hughesby.
Aaliyah K. Heisted. Dakota Robert Isker. Megan Emily Iverson. Alexandra Louise Jacobson. Emma Lee Jacobson. Gavin Charles Jacobson. Cameron Christian Janes. Aaron David Janicki. Jordan Leanne Jankowski. Nicholas Joseph Jansen. Kala Eileen Jenkinson. Katie Ann Jewell. Eloise Jillian Johnson. Hunter Richard Johnson. Lauren Ashley Johnson. Lauren Rita Johnson. Tanner Lyle Johnson. Zoe Winifred Dahl Johnson. Mackenzie Leona Johnston. Sean Christopher Jones. Eliza Flora Jorgensen. Antonio Ray Jubera. Morgan Catherine Kallenbach. Bon Roman Carls. Alexander Bomile Kella.
Andrew James Kenthammer. Brandon John Kern. Samantha Nicole Marie Kervatic. Bennett Allen Keeker. Sydney Marie Kilty. Amara M. King. Brenna Lou Claybon. Jack Leonard Clements. Catherine Cluck. Greta Francis Lee Knutson. Katie Elizabeth Kokendorfer. Alec Ray Colander. Renee Christine Kovacic. Levi Philip Vance Kramer. Joshua Frederick Laddie Kuhlman. Benjamin Michael Landry. Anna Lee Lane. Keone M. Lapine. Thomas Henry Lariah. Abby Elizabeth Larson. Holly Marie LeBrun. Lexi Lynn Lefevre. Harley Peter Lentz. Victoria Marie Leone. Alexander Curtis Lean. Brock William Linder.
Cole Daniel Little. Jacob Michael Lockbaum. Alicia Lai Laudesang. Aaron Axel Lofgren. Brianna Elizabeth Long. Benjamin Curtis Lundeen. Parker Joseph Madden. Carson David Madigan. Sarah Marie Madlung. Daniel Robert Mackey. Noah Keith Malik. Chaljit Kaur Manik. Nikkei Phillips Marcus. Emily Marie Marion. Joseph Palmer Martin. Peyton Shea Massey. Bailey Ray Matthews. Mark Kevin May. Brandon Michael McClune. Devin Marie McClellan. Shannon Nicole McMichael. Lauren Elizabeth Meagard. Cal Lawrence Mergendahl. Chase Owen Meyer. McKenna Lynn Miller.
Natalie Nicole Miller. Ethan Michael Millette. Seth Montgomery Minor. Madeline Nicole Moreland. Courtney Renee Maury. Adam Monzel. Roberto Jose Munson. Eli Abram Moore. Flor Camila Mose. Morgan Marie Moulton. Jordan Nicole Knack. Cody John Meek. Alexis Olivia Nelson. Julia Michelle Nelson. Kelly Elise Nelson. Maximilian Arthur Nelson. Isabella Marie Neubauer. Emma Reese Newman. Tate Richmond Nickerson. Maya Elise Nordahl. Elizabeth Nancy Ann O'Brien. Henry Charles Okerlund. Ellie Ann Olson. Elijah Jones Andrusik. Lauren Elizabeth O'Neill. Christopher Frederick Oskanian.
Matthew Bruce Oskanian. Andrew David Osterhughes. Taylor Joanne Owens. Jack R. Pashy. Devin Bailey Paschke. Anders David Paulson. Hunter Malley Peacher. Amanda Violet Penfield. Holly Marie Penman. Violet Rose Penman.
Cole Jeffrey Peters. Ryan Daniel Peterson. Alan William Phillips. Eden Elise Phillips. Jack Andrew Phillips. Benjamin Owen Pierce. Victoria Leanne Pitzer. Emma Louise Plitzner. Sean David Potratz. Kelia Elizabeth Pulios. Skylar Seneca Pruitt. Colin James Prusick. Bradley August Roethlisberger. Aaron Matthew Rasmussen.
Scott Gordon Rasmussen, Jr. Michaela Danae Raspberry. Samantha Lynn Ron. Connor Robert Wren. Morgan Cheyenne Robinson. Mason Jr. Rodriguez. Max Gilgary Rohde. Dimitri George Alexander Roth. Brandon James Rothmeyer. Blake Allen Royer. Elijah Harrington Rude. Paul Ruley. Brandy Marie Rutten. Lucas Kennesaw Fenwick Ryan. Sophia Grace Sandikian. Keegan David Sansoni. Tate Peter Satterback. Amy Marie Schaefer. Natalie Grace Schlepp. Joseph Daniel Schmidt. Karen Lynn Schmidt.
Elizabeth Margaret Shishik. Dietrich Carl Schuler. Molly Nicole Schuett.
Alexandra Lisa Schultz. Cassandra Mary Schultz. Kyle Thomas Schultz. Ross Jordan Schultz. Samuel Curtis Schultz. Tyler Gilbert Schwab. Ezekiel James Schwartz. Jackson J. Searle. Skylar Stephanie Saviola. Daniel Chigas Shanahan. Madison K. Sheriff. Alice Lee Schock. Ethan Syme. Mari Simmons. Megan Hope Simmons. Clara Catherine Simonson. Katie Ann Simpson. Heather Nicole Skoglund. Jordan Cyril Sluter. Annabelle Rose Smith. Benjamin Andrew Smith. Haley Jean Smith. Jarrett Maxwell Smith. Samson C. Smith. Tiffany Rose Soderbeck. Tyler James Soderbeck.
Madeline Elizabeth Soderberg. Jacob William Soley. Raymond Gregory Somerville. Andrew Peter Sommerfeld. Tiana Annabelle Span. James Philip Sparble. Cooper Madden Springer. Aaron Christian Squires. Danielle Grace St. Saver. Luca Stepan Stelzner. Levi Joseph Stidham. Sarah Ann Stream. Maxwell John Stubendick. Kaya Marie Sundin. Alexa Jade Tennant. Alexander Nam Terwilliger. Riley Joseph Thien. Brianna Christine Phil. Emily Christine Thorsheim. Joshua Douglas Tipp. Jacob Evan Tremble. Mason Forrest Treebold. Aberlin Gabriel Turner. Ellie Breet Tweet. Grace Skylar Marie Yucatil.
Lauren Estelle Ullum. Lauren Faye Van Bordel. Logan J. Verdine. Daniel Santiago Vergara. Jared Scott Viner LaBelle. Matthew Connor Vinup. Alexis Vizcara Duran. Ethan LaRue Visor. Hope Catherine Wacholtz. Natalie Raylyn Wagner. Dalian Chase Wallner. Madeline Ann Walker. Shayla Evangeline Wallin. Grace Christine Warner. Kaylin Ward. Tyler Jean Warwick. Samuel Joseph Weiss. Lauren Michelle Ann Weiss. Abigail K. Weller. Derek J. Warner. Alex A. Westfall. Diana Frances Westwood. Brady Scott Whaley. Tessa Lynn Whaley.
Autumn Elizabeth Wheeler. Anna Rose Wilgren. Benjamin Richard Williams. Brock Alexander Weimer. Taylor John Wicks. Broden John Wallner. Kiera Rose Wood. Liana F. Wood. Stuart Hayden Wright. Grace Elizabeth Yeager. Emily Yaretz. Eric Michael Young. Isaac Nathaniel Young. Rebecca Ann Zinler.
Students, please stand. At this time, if you haven't already done so, please move your tassels from right to left as per tradition. Family, guests, faculty, staff. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you now the class of 2018.